Whoever welded this, if you ever watch this video, dude, seriously, you gotta think look inward a little bit and think about this terrible job you did and your lack of workmanship and just your lack of being a freaking human being, really. I know it's just a truck, but you know, a little bit of pride in your work.
New truck? That's right. It's like a whole new you.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out.
Dorothy, you took her, you damn thief.
Haven't seen you in seasons.
As you can hear with the brass fanfare in the background, there's a reason to celebrate. No leaks. I can't believe that crap actually worked. You know, I'm really against that kind of thing. We'll see how permanent this is, but what you can see there are old leaks and old things. But yeah, what do you know? And going along on that theme, I am going to try to attempt to fix that nasty crack around the muffler with this. You know, in South Africa we use a British product called Gun Gum, and this is the American equivalent of it, and it's kind of like a last-ditch, you know, fix, although it tends to last. And basically, you just put this around the leak, and it hardens, and you know, it stops you from having to go pay a welder to weld up the exhaust, because you know what, this stuff's only like $6. So let's give it a try. I love trying all these crappy little products, these snake oil things on this truck to see if they work or not. So the stop leak certainly worked for the steering pump, that Lucas stuff. So let's see if this works. Just to work, we're gonna have to clean the area we're going to, well, that's not gonna help, is it? The area we're going to patch up. So wire brush, a little wire wheel, clean it up nicely. Let's go do that first, and I'll put that in properly. Take a look. There's a crack that goes all the way around here. This is quite common on these kind of mufflers because look, there's not a lot of support here. So I'm wearing eye protection. So you've got to wear eye protection if you're going to be using a wire wheel. Trust me, I've hurt myself in the face before. Anyway, I'm going to clean up this whole area, and then we're going to use this. Not a sponsor, it's only $6. Go buy it yourself, like I did. Yo, I mean, we can start to see just how deep that that crack goes. I mean, it goes all the way up to here, basically, all the way down. But you can see it's a big gap, and there's a lot of air, exhaust fumes, I should say, escaping from there, which gives it a horrible sound. You know, in all honesty, to do this properly, I should, you know, make another mounting bracket or another hanger to kind of keep it in place. But I don't have time for that. We're going to go take this thing for smog as soon as I'm done with this. So yeah, let's get it done. I'm gonna go get some crud cutter to, you know, degrease the stuff, to go and wipe this down. I'll be right back. I use this stuff for everything. Not a sponsor again. Definitely not a sponsor, but you know, I used to be worried about, like, am I using the right cleaner for the right thing? I need a degreaser, I need a tar and wax remover, I needed this or that. And I found over the course of just working on cars that as long as you get something to get the crap off, it works. And this seems to get rid of everything, so I just use this now. Pretty much for everything. And I like it. And I like the name, because crud is not a word you see in America much. It's definitely a British thing. We use it in South Africa, so I like the name. And that's why I use it, no other reason. There are probably way more superior products out there. Anyway, nice and clean. That is a massive crack. Seriously guys, this really should be welded, and if you have the option to weld, weld. But this truck's all about getting things done on the cheap. And if you're someone who doesn't have access to welders, or someone who is I don't know, just maybe doesn't have the money to do a weld job, get someone to weld it up. This is a viable option, you know. This is the kind of thing you're stuck in the bush. You're supposed to mush this around apparently. You're stuck on the side of the road in Africa on a dirt road, you got nothing else, you got a massive exhaust leak, or you know it's driving you crazy. Get something like this. So what does it say? Directions. Where's the English there? Must be cool. Wire brush or sand to remove loose stuff. Knead pouches before opening. Apply with putty knife. Pressing the putty into hole or leak. I don't think I have a putty knife, but I can go look around. Either way, I'm gonna put some gloves on so I don't get this crap all over my hands. I'll be right back. So let's see. Come on. There we go. Open it up. What do we got? I guess I'm just gonna use my finger at first. Start up there and give it a nice generous amount. Probably don't even need a bloody putty knife, to be honest. If I'm doing this wrong, please feel free to let me know very loudly in the comments. I mean, for me, I guess the idea is just get it into the gaps, get it to block the leaks. Remember, this stuff's supposed to like harden when it gets hot. Apparently you're supposed to have a 24-hour cure period. I don't have that. So you're supposed to put it on, idle the car for 10 minutes, and then 24 hours later it cures. I'm gonna put it on here. I'm gonna idle the car for 10 minutes, and then we're gonna drive directly to the smog station and see if we can get this thing to pass smog. It's gonna be interesting. Okay. I mean, you're supposed to kind of push it into the cracks. That's why you need a putty knife, right? So I'm just gonna force it in by being forceful with my finger. I don't think you need a freaking putty knife. I think they're just being I don't know, OTT, you know. You know when they say less is more? I'm gonna say not in this particular situation. I'm gonna say more is more. Come on. If this works, again, I'm gonna be very impressed. The stop leak thing, I didn't expect it to work, but guess what? It works. I'm pretty happy with that. Like, that saved me a whole lot of hassle and a whole lot of money. And you know what? It's a freaking truck. It's a work truck. It doesn't need to be perfect. I wouldn't do that on like a supercar or a you know, Porsche or something. I wouldn't do that on my Firebirds or something. I don't know. Maybe I would, to be honest. But like, if it's your drama, what do you call it? A garage queen dream car or something? Yeah, I mean, then you don't want to be putting stop leaks and shit in there. But if it's a work truck, come on. Especially when those replacement parts are so cheap anyway, so even if you ruin them, it's not a big deal. I know I'm being over the top with this shit, but whatever. May as well go up there on the top all the way around. I'm curious if you guys have had like success using this shit. I know in South Africa we use it all the time, but you know, you gotta understand, when I was living in South Africa, I was a poor bugger, and I used to have the worst cars, and they'd be in such terrible shape. And so we have these guys on the side of the road. They have like oxyacetylene welders. They're kind of like bush welders. It's hard to explain, but you know, they also have like piles of random used mufflers that they've picked up off the ground that have fallen off cars and stuff. And what they do is they will just quickly weld your muffler for you on the side of the road. And they're pretty cheap. And they do a good job, I'm not going to lie. But those guys also have usually gun gum with them, and if they spot a hole, they just stick it on like what I'm doing here. I'm being too excessive now. Now I'm getting arty. I'm like, may as well paint the whole thing so it looks uniform. Why not, eh? If not, why not? Get all this crap out the way. Alright, I think I'm done. It's all like one color. So, yeah, it's supposed to say inlet over there. And Now what we need to do, guys, is we need to turn this car on and idle it for 10 minutes. We need to bully it, as I like to say, for 10 minutes. And then it'll harden enough that you can drive. They say don't race the engine when it's drying or curing. Well, guess what? We're going to, because we're going to go on the highway. Because anyone knows that if you're going to take your car in for smog, first take it for a nice long trip on the highway where it can heat up the catalytic converter so it actually works properly. Don't take your car directly to the smog place without heating up that cat, because you might fail, you know. So give yourself every chance you can. So we're going to go for a nice leisurely drive on the highway, heat everything up, and then go to the smog station. So, messy, but it looks as if I've filled in all the cracks, so to speak. Let's try not to get this all over the driveway here. I'd like to get my security deposit back. Now what I'm going to go do is start the vehicle and let's see if any like holes appear. I'll be right back. Okay, well that sucks. There's a bigger, worse exhaust leak over here, just after the catalytic converter. See there? You can actually see the water coming out of the exhaust there. That is a bad booger weld. How can people do that? Well, this is really going to put this product to the test, because now what I need to do is clean that part up and put another whole whack of that stuff on. Alright, well, that's life. It's really tough to get in there though. I don't think I can get the wire wheel in there because of this support bracket or whatever. Nope, I'm gonna have to use that stupid wire brush. Okay. I gotta say, at least it's after the catalytic converter and not before it, because there will be a lot more pressure before the catalytic converter, because it's obviously the exhaust gases are being pushed through the cat, right? And it does offer some resistance, so there's back pressure. Whereas after the cat, it's pretty much just free flow all the way out to the muffler and then out. So I suppose there's a silver lining. Oh, this is hard. It's all booger welds and sharp little nubbins and stuff. I mean, whoever did this is a moron. This whole exhaust system's kind of patched together. Not a very good job. Not impressed. I just don't know how well this is going to work. Alright. Get in there. I am going to defeat you. You horrible exhaust leak. I'm going to defeat you with snake oil. Seriously though, if this stuff works, I'm going to be chuffed. It's going to be another one of those like, ooh, I didn't expect it to work, but it worked things. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to be surprised. Just don't have high hopes for us passing smog if there's a freaking exhaust leak. I think they'll just like immediately fail you, even if your emissions are okay. They have all those rules. It's like they do a visual inspection. If they see something missing or modified in any way, they're just like, nope. It's so dumb. Like with my 78 Trans Am, there's like a heat riser pipe, right? It looks like a piece of tin foil that goes from one of the manifolds up to the carburetor. Now you don't frickin' need that, right? That's not necessary to run the car. It doesn't affect the emissions or anything. It's just about starting in cold weather. But they're like, oh, you don't have that. Sorry, fail you. And you know, smog's not cheap here. You pay 70 bucks or something each time. So they're more than happy. Like, good places will give you one free retest. But you get places that just charge you once off and they're like, okay, come again, pay the $70, do not pass go, do not collect $200 or whatever it is. And also make the truck sound better, because it sounds terrible with that leak. I've been wondering why this thing's got such a raspy sound coming from down underneath the driving area, under the cab, I suppose you'd say. Well, this is the culprit right here. Oh, can I get to that booger weld up there? So I presume it's leaking from there too. Let's try. Get my hand around. There we go. It's so difficult to get up there. Come on. Need more. I want more. And I need all the Permatex I can get. That's fucking terrible. Shut up. I know any Sisters of Mercy fans out there? This is going to be the test, because this is where it's going to just blow right out. If this stuff doesn't work, you know, you're going to see it flying everywhere. Let's see. Hopefully there's no leak on top. It's tough for me to reach there. I mean, there probably is, considering how badly they welded this. Let's see if I got any left in this other one. I need as much as I can get. I do have one more pack. I got 2 just in case. So we're covered. Don't you worry. Okay. I think we're doing pretty well here. Give it a little bit of a visual. I mean, the gaping hole is no longer visible. This looks like a grey putty. Certainly looks a sight better than that booger weld. Whoever welded this, if you ever watch this video, dude, seriously, you gotta think very look inward a little bit and think about this terrible job you did and your lack of workmanship and just your lack of being a freaking human being, really. I know it's just a truck, but you know, a little bit of pride in your work. All right, I'm gonna put one more little dab on one spot there that I can see. This little spot that looks a little lacking. There we are. And then we're going to try it out. Like I said, I'm a little skeptical. I feel like this is going to just blow right through. But hey, we got to try, right? That is just such a massive leak. See, I don't see our chances being very good at stopping such a powerful leak. That's where you get this kind of tape stuff that you can wrap around. That would work here, but this stuff probably not. Have to be realistic about it, you know. I'm still gonna give it a shot. Whew, okay guys, I'm now going to just leave this for, I'd say, half an hour or so, and then we're going to see if we can start it and see what happens. I don't have a lot of hope, to be honest, with this. I'm not going to lie. Not with this one. With the muffler, sure. I mean, that's what this stuff is designed for, but I didn't realize there was such a massive leak up here at the front with this booger weld. You know, so a little doubtful about that. We'll find out, though. Put a whole bloody wall of this stuff on there. See, there's one area I haven't really filled up that I want to quickly, just in case. It is right over there. Come on, come on, in you get, you piece of shit. Okay, so C-Milk's up in the truck. He's gonna start it in a second, and we gotta watch this area here to see if it blows out or not. Yeah, it blew out.
Oh, great.
but not as much as I thought.
So maybe it is supposed to cure for 24 hours.
I mean, if it had cured longer, it wouldn't have blown out. So now, on the same line of what I've been doing since we failed with the gun gum or whatever it was, Permatex, I'm going to try this heat wrap. This is like $10 or $11, so it's a little more expensive, but this should be able to hopefully fix that that big leak that we're having at the front, because the Permatex is fine for the rear muffler, it fixed that, but that other one is just too much of a high pressure leak. So according to the instructions, I need to wear gloves, put my hand in the sea, and then wrap it. So let's figure it out. So my plan was to scrape all the Permatex off and then put the wrap, but that stuff hardens like, it's super tough. I tried to wire brush some of it off. It's awkward, I can't really get my wire brush in there, and it's tough, it's not coming off. So the only other option I really have is I put more of it in there, because I'm not going to run this truck until tomorrow morning anyway. So put more of it in there, hopefully it'll cure. I'm then going to sand all around it, and I'm just going to wrap on top of it. Maybe we'll have a double whammy kind of a situation, you know, because I'm surprised how hard that stuff gets. I mean, obviously it's supposed to. Anyway, let's get to it. Got to prep the surface. I've wrapped it in this resin stuff. It's very time sensitive, so you have to dunk it and then quickly get it on there. It's not perfect, I'm not gonna lie, I could have done it better, but with this bloody support transmission crossmember thing in the way, it's almost impossible to do it easily. So anyway, now I've got to put the silver stuff on it. Okay, not the best job, I admit, and it is just a kind of a pikey last ditch effort to see if I can make this work. I have covered the main part, which you all saw, which is kind of here. I've wrapped twice over with the actual fiber, and then this is just to hold the fiber in place. I say you're supposed to run your car, heat it up, because heat cures this. It's the next morning, let's see. Let's try it out. And that sounds like it's not leaking. Gotta let it warm up a little bit before I drive it though. Lovely V10 sound. Let's go underneath and see. And I can't feel anything. Tell. Very hard to tell. Gonna let this idle and warm up before I try driving at all. So one thing they don't tell you about this exhaust repair wrap stuff is that when it's curing, it smokes, and it smokes a lot. It looked like the car was on fire, and it smells like asbestos. It's really not good. So we drove around our neighborhood with the car looking like it was on fire. We also took it for a nice stretch on the highway to try and burn some of this stuff off, and it took about 45 minutes for the smoking to stop. Anyway, once it had stopped smoking, we took it in for the smog check, and what a big surprise, it failed.
Yo, did it pass?
No.
No?
But it's not as bad as it sounds.
Come on in.
Come
in here.
Yeah, okay. Basically, he says the computer is not passing the catalyst, the evaporative system. Says after the repair that I did to the exhaust, we need to drive it about 50 to 100 miles.
Oh, okay.
For it to actually like do a self-check.
Oh.
So we have to do that, and then we can bring it back in, and hopefully it'll pass.
So how do we do that illegally without plates and registration?
We're gonna have to look it up online, because you know, it's like drive it slowly, the speed limit, whatever, just do 50 to 100 miles. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of difficult.
Yeah, like where? Off-road, maybe.
Drive around our neighborhood, I guess.
That's annoying.
Yeah, imagine going around in circles in a one-block area for 50 miles.
We'll take turns.
There's got to be a way we can do it, but yeah, you see, it says not ready.
Alright.
The evaporative system, the ODB2 monitors is not ready.
Now, you're not going to believe how Winston managed to MacGyver something to make this actually pass, but it took a lot more work than we expected. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/worthlesswhips. We post extra content there. We also have you guys vote on cars and whatnot. And we appreciate you guys supporting the channel. We'll catch you on the next one. So don't worry about it, guys. You'll see exactly how we managed to finally get this thing to pass smog. And we've got a lot of plans for this. I know the truck's not everybody's favorite, the Redneck Viper, according to the views anyway, but we're going to keep going with this thing on the side. And we've got our other cars as well. Updates on the 78 Trans Am coming soon. Of course, the 1990 Firebird Formula still has a lot of work I've done on it, which we're going to be putting up here. And of course, we're going to be unveiling a new car very, very soon, so I can't wait to see you. And until then, you know, keep it between the ditches. Don't drive up a mountain by mistake, lose a rear axle, and roll down in a very hilarious way. See you next time.
Dorothy, you took her, you damn thief!